We've all imagined it. If you could build your dream house, what would that look like? A space that inspires you, calms you, and ultimately helps you live your best life? We've asked today's hottest designers to make this their mission.
We wanted to create an area of serenity.
Each design team will take a room from studs to the finishing touches.
And we want to create a space that's unique, inviting, and a ton of fun.
Showing you how to make every corner of your space work harder, better, and more beautifully than you ever thought it could.
Make a statement.
I'm Kravitz Showroom from House Beautiful, and we are building the dream in Nashville. Today's designer is Barclay Butera. He has appeared in NBC's Today Show, Extra, CBS, ABC, Fox, HGTV, and is renowned for his approachable elegance and glamorous coastal chic interiors. Barclay will be taking over the outdoor space. His mission is to create a space that feels like an extension of the whole home and provides even more room for lounging or entertaining. Barclay has been so busy with his other businesses that he was booked solid for install. So we flew from Nashville to his showroom in Newport Beach, California to go over his plans for this outdoor room. Barclay, thank you so much for having us here today. I have to say your showroom is beautiful, and I know because you're so busy, you haven't even gotten a chance to get down to Nashville yet.
I know, and I want to go to Nashville, period. Yeah.
So your team has brought you kind of all the schematics. What is your jumping off point when you're starting a project like this?
Well, you know, I think it's really important that you look at flow. So we're going from the entry into the living room and then into what I call the fifth room, or the covered porch. So it's, you know, the connective kind of congruent to these rooms is super important, that you create a lifestyle that is beautiful when you walk into the space.
Yeah.
You know, even on a rainy day, it's a covered porch, you can enjoy this indoor-outdoor living.
I love that, especially because, you know, I see a fireplace here, so it feels cozy. I mean, I actually want to be out there on a rainy day.
Yeah.
So, you know, one of the big things when anybody's picking or thinking about an outdoor space is the furniture selection. Which one have you chosen for this?
I've chosen the design Savannah from Castell, who's my license.
Okay.
We did it in some really fun colors, in a coral and a white and a baby blue.
So wait, you mixed up the finishes?
Totally mixed up the finishes.
Very nice.
You know, I licensed with a company called Napa Home and Garden, and they do my silks and my ceramics and my ginger jars and garden stools.
Are you talking about fabric silks?
No, I'm talking about floral silks.
Oh, okay.
You know, the thing that has become so good and so real looking.
Yes.
So I'm blending those items into this room to make it really, really fun and cozy.
Nice.
You know, and then we're going to go and visit Rogers Gardens later, which is beautiful, and then you'll see how I'm going to use real plants indoors to like cross merchandise what's going on with florals and greenery.
We're going to meet Barclay at one of his favorite locations, Rogers Gardens in Corona del Mar. They're known for their extensive selection of home decor, gifts, and of course, everything from the garden, from plants to elaborate fountains.
Isn't this great? I love this orchid room. I think it's so wonderful to like come into this space and feel how fresh white orchids are.
Yes.
I use indoor plants obviously because they're going to last a lot longer.
Right.
And they add to the air quality. You know, so if you think about how you breathe and how you absorb, you know, your life and the habits that you have in your home, I think it balances your life out.
And I love that because then you can kind of extend whatever you love that you already have in your home to this outdoor space. Yes.
Yeah. So, and the other thing that's great is that because we walk and step down into the outdoors and there's a dining area out there, so there I'll have like triple wax leaf privets and a little bit more groomed outdoor, you know, topiaries. So, and that will be refreshing coming from the indoor space and into the outdoor space. Because I added so much color to this area that I think it's going to be such a surprise when you walk in. And I like to create spaces that surprise you.
Yeah. You brought me to another gorgeous place at Rogers Gardens. Now we're with hydrangeas.
Yeah,
this is amazing.
What's great about the hydrangeas is that it's such a pretty texture. You know, it has that depth and it has, you know, it adds a lot of life to a room.
Yeah.
And the reason why I wanted to show you this is that, you know, I'm doing something different. And that is I'm mixing artificial with real. We like to live easier these days. The plants are so good looking now that I can bring artificial hydrangea in that you don't have to maintain,
Right.
that adds a lot of life to a space and is very practical in living. So I kill plants like crazy, so this is a nice solution for me. You know, I'm known for blue and white, so
Yes.
quintessentially I've got to have blue and white in my space. So these ginger jars here are a good representation of how I'm going to add blue and, you know, blue and white to the space. So
Right.
it's really like beautiful, intricate, you know, like all hand painted, and I love the glaze to them. So it's just another element that you can add to accessorizing, you know, indoor outdoors, because these could actually go outdoor.
Now we're heading to the Kravitz Showroom. They have a great selection of colorful indoor-outdoor fabrics perfect for low-maintenance living.
Here we are at the Kravitz Showroom in Laguna Niguel, and what I love about it is that there's tons of inspiration for the outdoors. Their outdoor collection is really whimsical, and here's my quintessential blue and white.
Yes.
And I really had a lot of fun with it. So, you know, this I did in a slightly dark blue. The linear stripe is, you know, pillow accents.
Right.
So it's really a play on texture and color.
I love that because it's so layered. It feels like you're still inside your home.
Exactly.
right?
And then as a surprise, I did outdoors in tangerine and coral.
Oh,
Yeah, isn't this fun? Very
Yes.
playful. I think it'll be really a good juxtaposition to the interior. And then the frame colors, you know, being baby blue and white and a coral color, I think are gonna really play off of what I've done in textiles.
Completely. I love that mix. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
have you made your final selects?
I have.
Okay, let's go check that out.
Absolutely. You know, as I talked about the juxtaposition of what I did in textiles, this is really a good representation all in one format. So, you know, using this abstract on the sofas as the main seating
Right.
is really kind of fun because people get caught up in doing solids on their large pieces and then having fun with their pillows.
Right.
I kind of did it all.
Yeah.
So, and I love to layer, so it's really, really fun what I did. You know, I used this great circular pattern and ticking, you know, with this outdoor trim, which is a trend.
love that.
Yeah. You know what's happening is that people are using outdoor fabrics indoors for the durability
Right.
and so on. So here's a good representation of fashion that goes outside and inside.
Right, exactly.
And then here's my whimsical coral and tangerine. So you can see outdoors, it's going to be a really fun play on color also.
I love that because it really feels like it's summer in your backyard all the time.
Yeah,
Who
I
doesn't
love
want
it.
that?
And we're happy,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's a
Yeah.
happy palette.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I can't wait to see this all come together.
Thank you.
Back in Nashville, Barclay's team begins to bring his vision to life.
Hi, I'm Steven, and I'm here installing outdoor furniture over here. Our dining table is all set up, and we got some Kravitz fabrics on here, and these are all custom made. Usually when I look at a space and I look at accessories, I see negative space. So I start with the negative space and I see what is it that I need there. I like to play with texture and color, so nothing gets too saturated. As you see here, we did a little vignette, so we got a little bit of texture on these topiaries, and then we have the china, which is a little more polished, and that kind of ties in with what we got going on here. You obviously want to break it up a little bit. Sometimes we'll do like stripes and we'll do a solid when it comes to like pillows for sitting area. Same with our coffee table here. We like different texture. That's why we have this raffia tray in it, and we have a floral.
You know, I chose a lot of fabrics for the space because I wanted it to be whimsical. Wanted it to be better than that fifth room in the house. I wanted it to be the primary room in the house. So you can come out here and lounge and feel comfortable, and it doesn't have to be one way or the other. It can be tangerine, it can be blue, and you can feel comfortable in your own space.
We wanted to bring some lighting in here, and we did these beautiful lanterns, and they're all battery operated, so you don't have to worry about lighting them or fires or anything. We also have this very neutral rug out here that kind of ties everything in, so you don't have, it's not overwhelming.
It's hard to find rugs that really fit an outdoor space that's as large as this one. So, you know, everyone was saying, oh my gosh, is the neutral going to get dirty? But it truly is an outdoor rug. So you can use it outdoors and sweep it off or hose it off. The great thing about this is these are all outdoor textiles. You can feel comfortable that they're in this indoor-outdoor space and not worry about dirt because they're cleanable.
Today we're installing our topiaries out here. We had these sent from California. These white planters go really nice with our furniture, and then what we do is we order these beautiful boxwood topiaries from a local nursery. prop it up on top of the paper. You want to balance it to make sure that it stands straight upward, like that. And then you start filling it with the green moss. So this is great for indoor and outdoor plants because, like I said, it'll give you that nice finish to it. Moss also helps retain some moisture into the soil. So if you're prone to not water the plants enough, this will help a little bit. And you just clean it up a little bit. And we got our finished product.
You know what's nice about how I did this space is I mixed a lot of silk plants with real plants. So you can feel like there are some maintenance-free aspects to the space, and then there's real greenery that kind of adds that life.
So we got our outdoor table set up here, and we went out and got some really fun dishes to go with our bright colors out here. Kind of tie in with our Kravitz and this really fun paisley napkins.
What I love about this space is the layering, the accessories, the color, the pattern on pattern, the umbrella. You have a lot of different things that are going on in this space that are unexpected and really, really playful.
And finally, Barclay and I make it back to the home for finishing touches and, of course, the big reveal. Okay, so seriously?
It's all about color.
Yes.
It's all about color. And you know, you see the robin's egg blue with the coral, with the white, and the blending of all the textiles. I think it's an incredible space.
I love what you did here because one of the things we talked about was like not being so cookie cutter, right? Like not just buying the set. So this is where you subtly mix in these different finishes.
Yes, that's what's great about this outdoor line is it's working with these different opportunities to have all these great colors. You come out of the house and you see this.
Right.
It's like a breath of fresh air. I think it's a really, really good representation of how I mix and layer, and you know, really it's about color.
Right.
The space is about color.
So, you know, one of the things that you really wanted in this space was a dining area. Originally, it was just going to be this covered porch area, this living space. Are you happy that you ended up with this?
I am. I think it's a good representation of how I live in California.
Yeah.
And it's an extension of me.
It really feels like it's connected to the home. You're so like you're off of these major rooms, the living room, the breakfast area, the mud room where everybody comes in. It feels like a space that draws you into it.
Exactly.
One of your big things is truly accessorizing the outdoors the same way you do the indoors. And people consider this like the fifth room of the house, but for you, it's bigger than that.
Exactly. I think that the fifth room is kind of a weird saying because it could be the first room of the house. You can come in from the mud room and go directly to this outdoor space. You know, people actually enjoy being outside in the covered porch. You could sit out here with the fireplace and the TV, you know, all year round.
No, it's true though. What you were saying about really being able to enjoy it all year round feels very appropriate for this space because you have the fireplace, you can kind of snuggle up, or you can like enjoy the alfresco dining all year round.
So I think you come out here and you feel happy with the space, you feel comfortable, and you feel playful.
You know, the challenging thing about this space is quite frankly that it didn't exist. This is an outdoor room and there's a lot of acreage here, but at the end of the day, it's what you decide to do with it. What Barclay's done here is take what was essentially a blank canvas and create two spaces that work so well together. An additional living room, so you've got your indoor living room that flows into your outdoor living room, and a dining area with an outdoor kitchen.
You know, when I create an outdoor space, I'm all about comfort. I want you to enjoy the space. I want it to be inviting. I want it to be non-fussy. You know, it's all about color in this situation and, you know, surprise. And because you have so many different areas that are entering this outdoor space, you know, it's all about symmetry and making it so it's a nice floor plan.
I mean, really, it is an extension of the home in all of the best ways. Another place for entertaining, another place for relaxing, another place for dining. And it really means that you can be outdoors all year round.
You know, when I create an outdoor space, I'm all about comfort. I want you to enjoy the space. I want it to be inviting, and that's what this is all about.
So anytime we can take a moment and be outdoors and really enjoy it is the best thing that we can do for ourselves, both mentally and physically.
So I'm gonna relax a little bit out here, take a deep breath, and say goodbye.